guitar on my own also. I play a lot of instruments, so this. I guess you would say that my plan as of now is to keep doing what I'm doing, because songs, you don't write songs. Songs write you. They come to you. You
words
get the
and
feel
music,
for
and words, bro.
Yeah, they come to you, and my long-term goal is that knowing that if I can keep in my heart my dream, which I'm 60 years old, and I've had it since I was 11, okay? If I can keep that alive, I feel like my music, Cody McCarver's music, because I've written some songs with him that are on his latest record. My goal is just to keep putting it out there and putting my heart and soul into it, and I think the rest will take care of itself. I really do.
We talk about people who live on after they've gone.
Right.
And we talk about prayer. We talk about, the gods, and I mean, we all believe in prayer.
Sure.
And I guess the question that I've asked a lot of musicians, and I've asked a lot of race car drivers, and I've asked a lot of family people, Bill, what would you say would be the one thing that you would like to leave and pass on when it's time for you to go home?
That's easy for me. Never give up. Never doubt what you have inside. Never give up on your dream. I hope that when it's my time to go, I hope I'm right there on stage, or I'm right in my recording studio,
doing what you love,
doing what I love to do.
Well, we always,
and so many people really anymore, because music is all about feel. It comes from the heart. So many people give up on the dream simply because they say, "Oh, there's just so many musicians out there. I can never be da da da." There's just too much. I don't believe that. I believe that.
Right.
I believe that if you have it in your heart, and you have it, in your lyrics, and it comes across, that is the ultimate test.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we talk about having heart when you write music. You got to have heart. You got to have the words. You got to have the music and words. And if you look, let's take a look at some of these musicians that have here and gone at a young age. Inspirational: Stevie Ray Vaughan, okay, Jimi Hendrix,
they are.
Okay, 26 years old, 29 on Stevie Ray. What we have today from these musicians is we still have their music. It never dies. It's like rock and roll in the 50s. It never dies. But what we also have, the memories, the good times, of course. But what we do have, and I'm sure Stevie and Jimmy and all the others are looking down, is we carry on their dream. We carry on what they wanted, and that's to keep music alive.
And that's a responsibility, in my opinion.
That's right.
That as musicians, that's part of our job.
That's right.
That's part of where I get the inspiration. Is that having whatever talent you have, it's your responsibility to carry that on. Gosh, you can go all the way down the line. Janis Joplin, Jeff Buckley. Wow, what a talent! But gone way too early, way before their time.
Yeah, that's just like in our comedian industry, our movie industry. You look at some of the greatest talents out there, Dale, that have graced us with John Candy, John Belushi.
Exactly.
You look at these people here, and we're like, my God, where'd they go? They're here today. They're gone. They make a mark in history. But they left a lasting impression.
That's the thing. Their art
never dies.
Never dies. You know why? Because it came from the heart, and it was good enough to go to the next generation. I mean, take Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah, just absolutely. Art, music, doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
If people leave a legacy.
If it's good enough, if it feels good enough, it will stand the test of time.
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty question here. If you had to take and say, what's your responsibility as a musician, as an individual, as a man, as a person, that you feel that you need to leave when it's time for you to go home, what would you say the number one responsibility you have?
I would say that it would be.
Let me rephrase this maybe like you. What would you want people to most remember Dale by? How's that?
Well, I saw that little sucker, a little red-headed sucker, when he was 13 or 14, and he was, blowing the saxophone here there. And I watched him with Cody McCartney. I've listened to this song of his, that he's written for Kerry Hassler or for George Jones or for George Strait. I've got part of the song of his. Kerry Hassler, she has one of my songs on her latest record, and it's just gone #1 on the Billboard charts for bluegrass. I guess I just want people, I hope people will enjoy what I've done, and if it brings them pleasure, then that would have been all I expect.
So would you say then that the music that you are getting ready to venture into, the singer-songwriter, possibly solo stuff that you want to write, publish, is this, let's say I don't want to say the legacy, I don't want to use that, but would you say that this is the stepping stone in a direction of what you want to pass on to people, the music that you have put together, that you're currently putting together?
Well, I'd have to say that, having been with Cody for 2 years, Cody, he's such a great guy to work for. I've had the pleasure of writing songs with him, and I think that he's given me the impetus to, because I probably have 5,000 songs. Go ahead and put out 12 of your own, And that's he's really been an inspiration to me. And in that, it's your music, man. Put it out there. Work hard at it, because Cody has a great work ethic, and it takes that. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't work at it, if you don't practice your craft, the results are going to suffer. So, I hope that I'm on this bus till I'm 70. I'm 60, but I'm just
got a long way to go, brother.
I'm just saying that this has been such an inspiration to me, working with someone like Cody McCartney. It really has.
Well, let's talk a little bit now. You and Cody McCartney band now. First off, how long have you been with Cody, and how did you get first involved with Cody McCartney?
Okay, well, I've known Cody since probably 1995.
Okay.
We were raised up maybe 20 miles away from each other. Okay. First time I ever encountered him, I was playing with my little brother's band, and he owned a club, and he would book us in there, okay? And then at the end of the night, he would get up and sit in with us and sing. And so that's where I really got to know him musically at that time. And then so time goes on, and shoot forward to 10 years, and my day job's a pharmacist. I work in a retail pharmacy, small town, done that. And Cody knew I played, and we played off and on together, at times through those years. But I guess he got ready to make a change with one of his band members, and so he comes in the drugstore and says, "Hey, man, you be interested in coming out with me?" And it took me about 2 seconds. So I would love to do that.
Hell yeah!
And so about 2 years ago, that's where it started, and the rest has just been. I've been a pharmacist for 36 years. I've had a license to practice pharmacy for 36 something years. It was already my intention to semi-retire, to cut back, and so now I work Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and the rest of the time I do music. So I've just been very blessed in a lot of ways.
Life on the road here, touring, obviously you're all for it.
Oh yeah.
You enjoy it.
It's like coming home. It really is when I get on this bus.
let's talk a little bit about the time that you've been with Cody, some of the high points and low points like we do with some of the other musicians, but we're going to approach it a little bit different here. Your time on the road with Cody here, let's you've been to a lot of concerts, you played a lot of places.
Oh, yes.
We've interviewed Tuck, we've interviewed Bill, and they both said that Riverbend was probably one of the most memorable concerts. Dale, tell us about you in agreement with them, or is there somewhere else that you thought might have been? Now, this isn't your high point, but this would have been probably the most memorable concert that you played.
Well, I'll just put it this way. I would probably have to agree with my two bandmates simply because when you're when you're on stage in front of 75,000 people,
it's a rush.
It's a rush. Yeah.
It's a rush. And it's better than Bill's coffee, ain't it?
Yes, it is. Better than Bill's coffee.
We're talking about an adrenaline rush, Bill, playing Riverbend.
But I have to say, yeah, great gig.
All right. Now, that concert there you played, it had to be a big motivational deal for you guys in the band and just to keep pushing. The low point in your career, and I didn't ask this question with the other band members, but I feel your involvement in music might be a little different than some of the other band members. What would you say was the point in your career or was there ever a time when Dale thought, well, maybe I just don't want to go on anymore?
Okay, I never thought that. Okay, but I didn't have a low point.
All right, tell us about it.
First one that comes to my mind. Okay, I was playing with Bob before the Playboys. Okay, by this time I'm 17, 18, freshman in college. Okay, at UTC, Chattanooga. We were playing 6 nights a week, and 6 nights a week. I was about to blow the armor string, which is, how you blow a saxophone. You have the muscles in your jaws. If you don't use them properly,
you can hurt yourself.
Yeah, you can hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after 5 years of playing 6 nights a week, blowing the horn, I started this real pain, and so I go to Bobby and I say, Bobby, it's just, he said, hey, no problem, man. Bring your organ, bring your piano, sing harmony, put the saxophone down for a while, because I was, obviously up to that point, saxophone was what I mainly did, as far as performing professionally 6 nights a week. But, so, as quickly as that low point came, all right, I was working with a guy sort of like Cody, all right, who valued what valued me enough as a person that's not the only instrument you play. Start playing this, because we're gonna change up some of the sets we do, So don't worry about it. Put the saxophone in. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. And so, almost as quickly as I was way down on the ground, thinking, "Oh no," because saxophone was my first love. Immediately, it's all right. Yeah, I get to keep this dream alive, And then after like 8 months, I had some therapy, went to the doctor, but I'm back playing again. And it's just a matter of control and playing it the right way. And we don't play 6 nights a week anymore. So that's, I have learned over the years how to know when, okay, you played enough sax. And with Cody, that's not my main instrument in Cody's case. I play it, but it's not like I have to play it on every song. So, but that was my local thinking, maybe, okay, at 17, 18, really? I'm through playing the sax when, I've grown up.
It wasn't going to happen.
So I'm very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Been with Cody now for a couple of years, playing out on the road. Of course, we know about the Riverbend concert. We talked about the Adrenaline Rush.
Right.
The high point in your career, do you feel as though that you've reached the high point, or are you still reaching for it?
I tell you, our show this past Saturday night, wasn't 75,000 people. I'd say there were 3,000. Best show we, in my opinion, best sounding show we've had since I've been with the Spreaker, the host. And really, I think it's just now